PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Well, I've been talking about this all year long. I said we've had a hydrogen power plant that worked with the Mirai. If you're familiar with the Mirai, what it does is the hydrogen produces electricity, which charges the battery, which makes a phenomenally fast and very efficient vehicle. And that vehicle has an emissions coming out of the exhaust pipe, which is water vapor. Since that time, we've never left hydrogen. So this last year in Japan at the Mobility Show 2024, they have now launched a cylindrical tube hydrogen package. So let me explain this. Now we've moved from hydrogen charging the electric battery to hydrogen being built into an ICE engine, which is internal combustion engine, just like a gasoline engine. I've had comments from people coming back going, oh, KC, the only thing I think about when I think about hydrogen is the Hindenburg and the hydrogen bomb. And I said, okay. Hydrogen is a very powerful energy source. So is nuclear power plants. So is gasoline. So is propane. They're all explosive. And so in an internal combustion engine, unfortunately for the world, it takes an ignition in order to drive the pistons, in order to drive the vehicle. And it doesn't really matter what the fuel source is as long as it's efficient. I grew up in the days when my dad worked in the oil field and they equipped all the vehicles with propane. So they ran on an enclosed system, and instead of liquid gasoline, they ran on propane. It wasn't near as efficient back then because the engines weren't built to run on propane, but it was so much more cost effective because they had the source of propane. So very interesting. But now the efficiency of engines have rocketed. There's a lot of companies out there experimenting with hydrogen right now. So this is kind of the cutting edge deal. Do I really need to go to a filling station and fill my vehicle up with an enclosed system with hydrogen? Well, that's a possibility. And I think that's a bigger possibility to be able to fill up a giant hydrogen holding tank and have actual pumps at a 7-Eleven or a Texaco or a Shell or something like that versus running millions and millions of miles of copper wire or having a diesel generator behind a store producing electricity for the electric charging systems. I mean, obviously, you know where I stand on this. I think it's a great step into making changes in the way we drive and service and demand from our vehicles. But I don't think the all electric car with a limited range with the infrastructure not being there is the answer. It's just not the answer. We could spend trillions of dollars and make it more efficient. But what if you pulled into a service station and you were number 100 in line for the 3 charging stations there? I mean, how long do you want your trip to actually take? And is there hotel rooms right there so you can go and take a 4-hour nap until you get up to the filling station? I mean, I know I'm being ridiculous, but everything seems to be coming together. This is like a propane bottle. You go up, you pull a hydrogen tube out of the rack, you walk over, you screw it in your car, and you're gone. You don't have to wait to fill anything up. It's already done. You leave your cylinder behind. It's a cylinder exchange, just like for your barbecue pit. They've got this set up that it'll run a home, that'll run all your appliances, that it'll run, for example, your big barbecue pit out in the backyard, or your vehicle, or your tractor. And so what I'm saying is the money that Toyota is now producing, because we're the number one demanded brand out there and the revenue is starting to increase, they're moving that away from the normal driving cars into AI and into mobility. And we will partner up or come up with a way to be able to make a hydrogen vehicle extremely efficient. And the hydrogen molecule is very abundant. And so clean burning, if the people on both sides of the aisle, and you know what I'm talking about, if they really care about the air and the water and the soil, then obviously if we burn carbon-based stuff, we're adding carbon to the atmosphere. That there's nobody's saying that doesn't happen. Obviously, when a battery is no longer good, we've got to find some place in the soil to bury it. So to me, both of those have a bad end to it. But if I can build an engine that somehow is as durable and has as much longevity as a Toyota gasoline fueled engine, and I can do it with hydrogen, then everything changes. This can drive the electric system in the car. It can also drive the piston driven ICE car. So this is kind of my message. As we go forward, this is going to start happening in a hurry. It's just there are doomsday people out there that'll try to tell you that every single thing that you do is going to end the earth. They've always been those people. They've been those people since the beginning of time. We're saying the earth is going to end. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're using our scientific technology to be able to grow the economies around the world. I'll tell you a little secret. Populations aren't going to decrease. And the demand for energy is going to increase. So using our scientific technology and working with the number one automobile manufacturer in the world, I'm proud to say that we are leading right now on innovations with hydrogen. PK52, the Saturday morning meeting.